Hey everybody, and welcome to session two, excuse me. Let's go into content and check it out and see what we've got. Here you'll see we've got session two, web design with a WYSIWYG editor. We've got 6 objects in here. And I started you off with a detailed checklist. If you'll recall, you can actually mark things off as complete, and that is just for you guys to do. It's not something that I check. You don't have to use that checklist if you don't want to. On the welcome page where this video will be located after I'm done making it, there's a link to the course plan, which if you click it, it will show you all of the assignments for the semester. And I want to note a few changes that I just made today, January 27th. One is I moved copyright and fair use laws up into session 3. It was in session 4. But what that allows you to do is to begin fresh with the evaluation strategies assignment, which is sort of based on all 3 of these, and it didn't make sense to have copyright and fair use concurrent with this. Another thing that I did was I moved these 2 things down. So A9 and A10 were in session 5 here, but I decided to move them down, give them a whole another 2 weeks. So basically you have 4 to 5 weeks to plan. Honestly, you have more than that to plan it. If we just pretend that you get 1 week in here to work on your project plan, that's a week here in session 4, 2 weeks here in session 5, and 2 more weeks in session 6. That's 5 weeks to plan and build a final website, an educational website, or a website suitable to your needs and your goals and your audience. And if you count spring break in there, that's actually 6 weeks. And I think that's a good amount of time to work on a big project. So that was some of the shuffling that I did today, was trying to make space for that project. And I had to go in and read all of the assignment instructions again, taking notes, because as you probably know, when you're designing instruction, there's lots of moving parts. And while it might have looked right the way I had it set up previously, I had to reread to discover some moving parts that weren't working. They were kind of grinding up the works. So yeah, I had to move those. I also moved this evaluate thing down into session 7. What this is where you'll be, after everybody makes their website, you'll have an opportunity to evaluate at least one other classmate's website. And so that shouldn't take a ton of time. I think the way Dr. Bradford had it set up, it was a pretty detailed, lengthy assignment, but based on the feedback from the professor who taught this course in the fall, I'm going to actually simplify it. So I don't think that it requires a ton of time. So it is important to note that this is a 1-week session in session 7. So I really didn't want to move anything else into session 7 if I didn't have to, but this is doable. Okay. And then this is just a reflection paper, basically. How did the semester go for you, kind of thing. Okay. So those are some moves that I made around in the course plan. That's why I always say go check it out. And I put the changes that I make down here. I kind of list them out. So that's if you're wondering. And then of course there's always, let's see, you can click this thing and you can look at revisions. So if you want to know what did the course plan look like on January 16th, you can look at it that way as well. So you can see the way it was before, remember? This is where copyright was, but I moved that up today. So you can always look at that, check out the newer version, that kind of thing. All right, that's part of why I do the course plan on a wiki page. All right, guys, so let me go ahead and talk to you about the assignments really quickly. Basically, what you're going to do in this 2 weeks, and I hope that you'll take the 2 weeks to kind of work steadily and not wait until the last minute, like the last 2 days of the session. You're going to make 3 more web pages, and you're going to demonstrate various design principles. So in the first one, this one here, what I'm calling page 4, this is really your opportunity to get to know your WYSIWYG web editor. And you have to make that decision. That's a big part of this assignment, is just deciding what web editor are you going to use, or what HTML web editor you're going to use. That's a big decision. Then you have to download it, install it, and then go find tutorials that will help you learn how to use it. And then you have to start making pages. So I suggest you get this done definitely in week 1. If you can get really familiar with it and also be doing your readings a lot during week 1. But I'm bogging down because that's where you guys get to decide how you pace yourselves. I'm kind of sticking my head into your business, but it is just a suggestion. And then on these last 2 assignments, these are pages that you make, and all 3 of them have you demonstrating various skills. So let's go take a quick look at each one. Just very quickly. One thing you'll probably notice is that there's not, there's going to be a little bit different design. On this one, there is a fly open page because there was some information on this topic. But then on the next topic, you'll notice that there's no topic overview of great length, and the same on the following one. So, and I'm kind of commenting on this because it's sort of a teachable moment. You know, why do you think I make this topic overview page here? I know, because there's a lot of information here, and I don't want you to get lost. I want this page to be about you, you know, kind of knowing what it is you need to do and at sort of a higher level. And so this is, you make this extra page to allow the user to drill down into a page that's got lots of information on a particular topic, and then they can come back out. And you notice how I have it open somewhere else so that once you're done reading it, you can always just kind of close it and then you're back here where you were. All right, so that's an intentional design thing. I thought I would just take a moment to talk about that. All right, so bogging down though, you do need to pick your WYSIWYG editor. I think your 2 best choices, and you may disagree, you may find something else that you want to use. I think the 2 best choices are Adobe Dreamweaver and Microsoft Expression Web. Adobe Dreamweaver is sort of the industry standard. It's a great tool. If you know how to use it, then it can be said that you know how to use a web design editor. And the good thing about it is it's probably going to be here in the near future. Unlike a lot of other web editors, it seems like they just sort of come and go all the time. But Dreamweaver people pay for, and it has a big following, and it's such a standard that it continues to be used, and that's a good thing. It continues to be a really great program. But the problem with that really great program is that it costs a lot of money, like $300. Even if you're a teacher or a student, which a lot of you are both of those things, their discount is really puny. So anyway, you have to decide, do you want to use it? Do you want to spend the time learning how to use it? It depends on what your needs are. My recommendation would be, if you see yourself as someone who needs to be really skilled with technology, if you're a total techie, you know, person, maybe you're working at the administrative level with technology infrastructure. If you see yourself managing websites, then you probably need to, you know, choose the Dreamweaver option, and maybe even commit to paying for it for a couple of months for this class. It's about $30 a month according to the Adobe folks that I chatted with yesterday. That's something for you to decide. Dreamweaver works for PC and Mac. Microsoft Expression Web works for PC only. It is free to use, and it is becoming obsolete because they're sort of phasing it out. They're not going to be supporting it anymore, you know, starting about right now. So it's still a good program, but it's the kind of thing where you might not be able to use it, or you might not want to use it in 3 years. So you have to just decide, you know, do you want to use the free tool right now for you PC users? I would probably use Microsoft Expression Web, quite honestly. But that's me. So you have to decide. Mac users, unfortunately, I really tried to figure out an option for you guys. There used to be, on Macs, there used to be a web development program, but they phased that out on the Mac. So as you can see, web development is being phased out, probably because there's lots of other options where people don't have to build their own websites. There are things like Weebly and, you know, Squarespace and things like that. So it's just not as necessary, at least in people's minds, for everybody to know how to build websites. It's just not worth the time of these companies to, you know, develop this kind of tool. That's my guess. I'm not really sure, but you do have to make that decision, and then you'll want to, you know, get to know that tool, and then, you know, read your book. You know, read through all of this stuff in order, and just I wanted to quickly show you the instructions are down here. So here you're going to be demonstrating these principles in this web page that you make. On typography, you're going to demonstrate these typographical principles in your content of your page and your layout. And then there's some more principles here. So, you know, you can use this typography guide, and you can also use the Non-Designer's Web Book, Chapter 12 especially. It'll help you kind of think about these principles. And then the third page that you're going to make deals more with color and graphics. And that's more Chapter 9 of the book, and Chapters 10 and 11 as well. So hold that book close and get ready to make 3 web pages. And that is session 2. I'll go ahead and cut it off here. I was going to say some extra things, but I hate to do that and it'll make the video even longer, so I'll make sure I post any relevant news and announcements on the news feed. All right, you guys, have fun and let me know if you need any help. Thanks.